everybody, welcome back to Heart Fun. Today we're going to be spending time at our community garden.
Fun, heart fun, heart fun. Gonna start with a heart full of fun. Have a loving day. Don't care what other people say. Keep your head in the sun, 'cause it's already done. In your heart there's fun. Heart fun. Heart fun.
Me and my dad.
Hi.
We are going to the community garden. What's a community garden, you ask? A community garden is where families and friends come together and make their own gardens. We all share the same tools, same soil, and all help each other so everybody can go home with healthy and organic food that they grew themselves. During the pandemic, our community garden has been very busy. Why? Because people were encouraged to get outside. And in my opinion, there's nothing better to do outside than plant your own vegetables and get your fingernails in that dirty soil. My grandpa Don is a really good gardener. He loves it. In fact, he's one of the organizers of this community garden. This is the community garden tool shed. This is where we get all of our tools to make our garden. And today, all I need is a shovel, a wheelbarrow, and some scissors. Every year, I'm excited to see what my grandfather and my grandmother plant in their plots. The other night, we had a birthday party at our house, and we had a really tasty salad. And I didn't even realize, but these are the flowers that we had on top of the salad, right from this garden. Gravy, these are so good. What are they?
Well, these are nasturtiums, Kaya, and your grandmother planted them to help the bees. 'Cause
Wow.
we need lots of bees to pollinate the flowers. Look at those sunflowers.
Oh my, those are so pretty.
You brush this off, and you'll see all the seeds behind it.
Yeah, I can see them.
Look at them all. And you can eat them, or we can feed the birds all winter.
I love sunflowers. They're so pretty.
So, Kaya, we're standing in front of the manure pile, and because this is an organic garden, we used worms and manure, the real stuff, no chemicals.
Oh, wow.
Now
That's crazy.
That's a healthy garden.
Whoa. It's a lot of worms.
Now, if your garden doesn't have worms growing in it, there's nothing healthy for them to eat.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a big circle.
Is
Feed,
this horse-
feed them right. This is horse manure, but it's 3 years old. And
Really?
at that age, it just looks like ordinary earth.
I'm holding horse poop, and it's the best thing for our garden. Woo, it's squiggly.
So, Kaya, because of the manure and the worms, this is a piece of Swiss chard. That's half of your height.
Whoa.
And it is such an amazing tasting green. Right here we have dill, and I love making dill pickles.
Ah, it smells so good.
Yes, and this goes with my cucumbers.
Wow, this is really cool. When's squash harvesting season?
Well, in another 4 weeks, it'll get dark green, and when you shove your fingernail in it, if it can't go in, it's ready.
Even my cousins, Aaron and Adrian, they have their own plots. Oh, I see it. This is a huge pumpkin. cool. This is a pumpkin, and when it was younger, she put her name in it, so that when it's big, then her name will stay in it.
So cool.
And this will be perfect for Halloween. And of course, I decided to do the same thing too. I just carved the K for Kaya. Now we're going to our garden. It's called the Heart Fun Garden. We've been growing it for about 5 years. I remember when I was younger, my parents used to bring Willow and I to the garden in the spring to plant our seeds and in the fall to harvest them. And throughout the summer, we took care of our garden. So this is some kale, and we need to get about 8 or 10 because my mom requested them for dinner tonight. The cutest little pickle I ever saw. Oh, look at this one.
Days are like honey, drip from the trees, astonish the gods, all that we can be. Watch their wings be free, far out to sea.
It's fall now, and can you see? Most of the people here already harvest their gardens, and we're here today to harvest ours. So today, we're here to harvest the last of our squash, the last of our kale, the last of our cucumbers, and the last of our Swiss chard. And when we get home, I'm gonna make a beautiful and delicious squash soup. This is gonna be one good soup. So these are fresh squash from the garden, and we're gonna be making a squash soup today. The first step is to wash your squash. Let's wash it. Wash squash. Oh yeah, wash it, baby. Now, you need to bring it back to your cutting board, and then you need to peel it. Okay, go on the side, like this. The next step is to cut your squash into cubes. We'll need 5 cups. Let's get chopping. After you slice them, don't forget to scoop out the seeds. If you're too young to use a knife, please ask your parents to help with this activity.
Yeah, ask your parents for help, yo.
Five cups of organic squash. Let's pour them in. Oh, look at that goodness. Mix, mix, mix. Before we put the squash in, we put some celery, some onions, and some carrots, and a little bit of oil to fry it. If you are too young for this activity, please ask your parents for help. Next up, we need some water. Just enough to cover it, so about right here. Now it's time to add some flavor in this. First, 2 bay leaves. Next up, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Now it's time for some herbs. These ones are my favorite, especially. You just need to slide the leaves right off. Thyme has such a good smell and such a good taste. And we actually grew this herb in our very own garden. Now let's mix it all up. Now it's time to let the heat do its thing and put the cover on top. Now I'm gonna go down and get my blender. Next step is to pour the whole soup into the blender. And I really recommend, whatever age you are, to ask a parent for help. I'm even gonna ask my parents for help too. Hey, Mommy.
Hey,
Can you please help me pour the soup into the blender?
of course I can.
Come with me.
Well hid from the stream. The stones in its bed watch the water run by. I wonder who'll be in that dream.
So Dad, Kaya made this soup for your birthday, and she's not here, she's at school, as you know.
Oh my goodness.
But it's from the squash from the garden that
Wow.
you inspired her to grow.
Look at it. It looks perfect.
Okay, what's your thoughts, Dad, on Kaya's squash creation?
Well, I gotta tell you, this is incredible. Look at it dripping. It's amazing squash soup.
Good job, Kaya. Do you want some too, baby?
I learned a lot during the pandemic. One is that it's very important to go outside. Two, it's so fun to plant your own garden. Did you know that it's good for your physical health and your mental health? And that's very important during times of isolation. So wherever you are, find a little place to drop some soil, plant some seeds, and grow love. But if you live in a place where there's not a community garden close by, then you can grow plants on a balcony or even on a ledge of a window. So thanks for watching this episode of Heart Fun at the Community Garden. I hope to see you next time. Have a loving day.